Hey guys, so today's video is makeup mistakes to avoid, makeup do's and makeup don'ts. And let me tell you something before we actually get started. I am literally guilty of doing all of this. My face potentially looked like this in a couple of videos, maybe like a year back or even a couple of months ago. I am guilty of some of this stuff from last week. It's like a disaster. I don't take myself too seriously. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm personally targeting you. If you do your makeup like something on the don't side, don't feel like I'm saying like, no, this is horrible, because everybody has a different face, everybody has their own style, and there are no makeup rules. So you can literally do whatever you want as long as you feel beautiful and confident. That's the whole purpose, the most important thing. And I am going to let you know, there is definitely, don't lie to me, there has been a time in your life where you look back, maybe it's a haircut or maybe it's a makeup trend that you were following and you're like, what was I doing? 2013 was not a beautiful year for me. My makeup, girl, we had struggles. We didn't even do our eyebrows. What was that? I don't even know. Hopefully you guys learned some techniques and ways to improve your makeup, because I learned all my makeup by watching YouTube and by practicing. So don't forget to subscribe, follow me on my vlog channel, my Snapchat, my Twitter, because I honestly have been telling everybody that we're best friends and I feel offended that you're not following me on all those social media. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's go ahead, get started, and make sure you stay to the very end because I actually have a huge giveaway. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started. So a huge don't is ignoring moisturizer. Moisturizer is so important because your pores are going to absorb it and the foundation is not going to seep into your pores as much. I do have a coupon code for this one. This is actually Wanderlust from Ofra. I absolutely adore it. Not for your hair though, just FYI. But basically what happens is your pores absorb it, and this has glycerin in it, so it sits really nicely on the skin and is one of the major products that is in primers. Okay, big don't for primers is applying way too much. I used to think, oh, the more primer, the better it's going to sit on my skin. That is so not true. What happens is your foundation might not mix well with the primer and it's going to roll on your face. It's better to use a little bit and apply it in strategic areas, places where you have big pores, where you have smile lines, things that you really do need to target, and then using a different primer in different areas, like something that you need to moisturize, use a moisturizing primer. Places where you need more coverage, use a more long-lasting primer. Okay, another huge don't is applying foundation straight to the face. I used to do this and I didn't think anything of it, but when you apply foundation straight to the face, what happens is you feel pressured to use it all. Also, it might be the wrong tone, it might be the wrong color, and it also might be the wrong texture completely for your skin. I always used matte foundations because I thought that's what I wanted, but I have dry skin and that doesn't necessarily work. Also, mixing different foundations together that might not be the right formulas together can cause your face to look even more cakey than it would if you had used just one shade. Also, not blending it down your neck is a huge don't as well. So I definitely recommend using the back of your hand, applying a little bit of product, using a sponge, and then going slowly in, taking a little bit of product, applying to your face, and then if you feel like you need more, it's always easier to add more than to take away. Because when you apply it directly to your face, imagine trying to take away the excess foundation. It's impossible. Also, work it down your neck and make sure you work it up onto your ear if you do have a foundation that does not match necessarily, because that will definitely help. Also, work into your hairline a little bit, because if you do pull your hair up, it's kind of embarrassing when your foundation doesn't match your face. So now a huge don't for eyebrows is using something that is way too dark and way too intense. Now I've done this so much and I still recently here and there do it, is I just use a product that's way too dark and I apply it way too much. So I over accentuate my brows. They're already dark, they're already huge, they're already fluffy, and I just do a horrible job making them even more kind of noticeable. So it's better to use a pencil or something that is lighter for your eyebrows. Now granted, everybody has a different eyebrow preference, but I like to use concealer to clean it up, try to do my best to just follow the strands of my hairs where they're naturally growing. Also, when you're using eyebrow mascara, a huge don't is just brushing to the side, leaving sparse areas. A huge yes is working in the direction of your hair's growth, because this will make them thicker, look better, and just last a lot longer. Oh my goodness, a huge don't is using cream concealer under your eyes, you guys. I have done this so much when I didn't know, but it's just too thick and it's going to dry out your under eyes and crease. It's just not a cute look. Granted, if you do have oily skin, this might last longer on you, but you have to be very careful. So I like to use liquid concealers and I like to color correct first so that my under eyes look a lot better. I like to use a nice peachy pink tone to color correct the dark blues, and then use a yellow to brighten up, and then I like to use a tiny bit of concealer to just cover it all up, because I used to apply way too much concealer, then it would crease, and it was just a downhill battle from there. For eye primer, one huge don't is applying way too much and not setting it. A huge yes is making sure you use a little bit and then set it with a skin tone color or whatever color you're going to use all over your eyes. Because when you go in and you don't set it, look at how patchy that eyeshadow looks. And it's not the fault of the eyeshadow because the eyeshadow is amazing. It's from Makeup Geek. Now, if I set it with a powder or something that's the same shade as my skin tone and go in with a lighter color and just start using, you know, very light-handed motions and then slowly building it up, it definitely does help so much more. And then again, same technique, is just using less is more. It is always easier to add more than to take away. Use a very light hand and use different brushes. Use a nice small brush to do specific area work and then use a big blending brush that's kind of clean. It's like you gotta go back and forth. Okay, for shimmery shadows, my biggest mistake was I used to go up and just like be messy with it and let it go into the crease. That totally defeats the purpose of creating these like, you know, intricate shadows and stuff. You're trying to separate it to create like this emphasis on your lid, and when you start brushing the shimmer shadow all up into the crease, it just looks like a huge mess, and that's how I used to wear my eyeshadow. If you guys want more specific videos like eyeshadow do's and don'ts, eyebrows do's and don'ts, contour do's and don'ts, let me know. I'd love to do that for you guys. Also, ice white highlight is not necessarily the best way to go. I'm gonna be honest, I was so guilty of this. I over applied it and it just looked way strange. It looked like my eyeshadow was going on down under my eye. It's better to go with like a light hand and use something that's very natural, maybe your skin tone, maybe a little bit of shimmer, but very light, and then applying a nice like light amount into the inner corner that is gonna go a longer way. Okay, for eyeliner, huge don't is going past your eyebrow, even though I have done it so many times. It's just like you don't have time to go back and like fix it, you know? I also sometimes just don't set it and stuff, but a huge yes is really working your way into making it as thin as nice as possible and like really accentuate your eye, making sure you clean it up with concealer and using a matte dark black eyeshadow to set it, and then setting the concealer that you used. That'll make it look a lot neater. A huge don't is using super dark shadows underneath your eye. It'll drag your eyes down, make it look tired. It's nicer to use a transition shade or something that's like a medium brown, something that's going to help kind of create the definition but not drop your eye down. So don't try to go with the darkest shade. Better to use like a lighter shade. Another yes is making sure you set your foundation before you contour or use powders on your face. I used to not do this because I have dry skin and just go in with a bronzer to contour with a huge brush, and it would just be so messy, so patchy. It'd be patchy because I did not set with powder, and it was super orange because it was a bronzer and not a contour. So it's better, well, try not to break your contour palette because I did, but try to use a neutral or cool toned contour shade that will really help you. You won't need to use as much product and you will have a lot more definition. Work it into the hairline, work it past your ear, just to make sure that it all looks really kind of precise and subtle. Now for blush. Oh my goodness, blush. I used to love blush in middle school and like high school. Be very gentle with blush because sometimes you can over apply it, especially on the apples of the cheeks technique. I've learned it looks better on my face shape if I pull it up a little bit more. Now for highlight, I used to over apply it, not dust off the brush. It is so much better to dust it off and use a really light hand because it will emphasize any pores or texture that you have on your skin. Okay, for nose contour, I used to just go ham, use a dark shade, and not really blend it down my nose. It is so important to go in and make sure you like use circular motions, blend it in, use a really light hand, because when you blend it in and use it strategically, it'll look a lot more natural and not like you have a giant sharp line down your nose when you look sideways. For a huge don't for mascara is just going in and touching the lashes and not the roots. Make sure you work your way from the roots all the way up and all the way down, granted if you're using, you know, lower lashes, because it'll help separate them from the start and it'll make it look like you have a lot more lashes than you actually do. Okay, huge don't is overlaying your lips kind of equally, I guess. For me, I have a upper lip that's smaller than my lower lip, and I would overemphasize them in the same way. Now, I should have done making sure that my like upper lip is a little bit overemphasized, but my lower lip I shouldn't have overemphasized because it looks like my lip is drooping on the bottom, and I'm still guilty of doing that to this day. I do it sometimes and I'm like, oh my goodness, why, when I look back at pictures. So when I use liners, I like to like work my way and kind of like subtly create a gradient, because when I use one shade, you can see it kind of creates that drooping effect on my lower lip. But if I use a light shade in the middle and kind of, you know, don't overemphasize it, it creates a nicer kind of more neutral look, but it looks like, you know, my lips but better. For fake lashes, always make sure you wait like 40 seconds for the lash glue to set. I know so many people say they have problems with their lashes applying because they're not setting. It's because you have to wait for the glue to get tacky. Also, make sure you use lashes that are not too thick. You can see on the don't side, you can barely see the eyeshadow, and on the do side, it looks really nice because it's nice and fluttery. So it's better to use something that might be a little bit longer but fluttery because it won't take up your entire eye space. Also, setting your under eyes is also a great idea. It will definitely help with the creasing with your concealer. So you can see it's very subtle. I didn't want to make this video way too like extravagant and like huge differences, like use my foundation that's completely 17 shades darker. I wanted you guys to see that this is really kind of a realistic thing where I could have totally made this mistake like last week, which I totally did. So this is what I feel is my mistakes and how I've improved. So another really great do is make sure you set your face. I like to use MAC Fix Plus and then set it with a sponge. It really helps get rid of that cakey effect and that powdery like finish. It really does help. And then I like to set it with a setting spray. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. So the giveaway rules are basically that you have to be subscribed to me on this channel because this is for my viewers, my subscribers. I'm really honestly so grateful for all your support. It's just honestly been a dream being able to do this as a job. I know there's so many people out there that would literally like love to have what I have, and I want to let you guys know that it's really humbling meeting you guys and seeing everybody, like the comments and the love. I'm honestly so blessed, and you guys are so unbelievably nice. I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I absolutely want you guys to know that I love you. So I hope you guys all can enter this giveaway and enjoy it. I do know that there's like some weird rules that YouTube made about giveaways, and so to avoid any problems, and I know some of you guys don't have like certain social medias, I'm going to do it on a website called Gleam. So on there, the link will be down below. All you have to do is really put in your email so that I have easy way to contact you once you do win, because I've had issues where people would comment on a video and then I couldn't contact them, and so I had to pick a different winner, you know what I mean? And I don't want that to happen, so I want everybody to have a fair chance. So all you have to do is enter an email address, and then there will be like extra bonus ways to enter if you have like Instagram or like Facebook and stuff like that, but they're not required. So that way you guys can see how many people are entering and when the giveaway ends, and you guys will get an email and stuff like that. So it's an easy way for me to do. So that will be down below, and all the rules will be down there as well, so that you guys know I will be ending this giveaway on the 19th of February. Currently it is the 29th of January, so you guys have plenty of time to enter, as I will be messaging the winner that Monday right after the giveaway ends. So I'm super excited for these prizes. I am literally head over heels in love with absolutely every single one of these things that I'm giving away to you guys. So there's gonna be 3 winners, and the prizes are exactly the same because I wanted to make sure it was fair. So the first thing you're going to get, every single one of you guys, is the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. It's intense butter glosses from NYX's favorite mascara, the Voluminous Carbon Black from L'Oreal, Soap and Glory Pink Twice, Hand Food, and Heal Genius. The Tarte, this is the Works of Tarte Holiday 2016. This is their blush palette. It looks like this. It has so many blushes and I believe a couple of highlights, because I haven't actually like used these as highlights. I've just kind of gone for the blushes, but they do have 2 highlights in here. And the last thing every single one of you guys is gonna get is this Peter Thomas Roth mask set. It has 6 masks, and I have like the bigger bins of it sort of, and I've used every single one of them already, and they are so good. Yeah, so there's 3 winners. This bin has like all of the giveaway prizes in here, so I am really excited to pack these up and send them out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to give it a giant thumbs up. It definitely really helps. Subscribe, join the family, and follow me on my other social media. I'd love to chat. I'm like really open to like snapping with you guys. It's just I do get a lot, so don't feel like offended if I don't reply like your first time. Like, if you keep sending them like regularly, I'll open them. Just don't like completely spam it, because if you do spam, I won't see it anyway because it'll just keep moving. So like make sure you send it like regularly, like every day, and then eventually I'll get to you. Believe me, I do. So yeah, that's basically it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!